Hello, and welcome to the Wastelands, where everyone's a little mad and crazy is when the past and the present don't align. Yesterday, yesterday for you guys at least, we finished up the Frostback Basin DLC. I also somehow ended up judging a bear who's now working for the Inquisition under Cullen, so that is something. Um, and then I finished up in order to start up the Trespasser DLC. Now, I did do some off stream research, and because after the stream yesterday, I was a bit bummed out that I was about 2 ice dragon bones short to make myself a tier 4 weapon. And after doing some research, I found out that there was a hidden cache somewhere, which I ended up picking up off stream. Just wanted to get that done quickly so that today we could start with the Trespasser DLC. So I did end up picking that up. I upgraded my weapon, so I'm currently rocking a fully kitted out tier 4 lightsaber. Not exactly a lightsaber, but it's about as close as it gets. I also took the opportunity to add some pieces of equipment to my armor, making myself more tankier, hardier in the fights, as I'm mostly the one just doing most of the fighting. So I've upgraded the armor. It actually looks pretty good on dock. And we are about ready to start the final chapter of this game, the Trespasser DLC. But first, I need to go to... I was gonna say Samson, it's not Samson, to Colin. Because Colin... He made this... Like, I know you're speaking like Warhammer Orcish, but I can barely make out what you're saying. I made the sort of toofiness. I think that says. Apparently, the sight of Storvaker marching with the Inquisition soldiers has made an impression, and she was an admirable combatant in helping them fight off a wyvern. We've had success brokering an exchange. Some of the Avar scouts will join ours in the mountains, and we will send their hold certain goods imported from Orlais. She is an unusual addition to the Inquisition, even by our standards, but I am pleased to report Storvaker has proved worthwhile after all. Commander Cullen. So tell me, Commander, would you dub this bear a roaring success? Liliana is one of us. Nice. No, Colin. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, let me just check what this name is. What? It's not Warhammer. This is the... This is the speech of Koiteboin. I don't know why, but for some reason I am reading that sentence of this is the speech of Cato's Bane. That's what I'm reading in that sentence, and I don't think that's what it is. I assume that's Guild Wars.
Flower motif, I think.
I cannot make any Kunari headpiece. Oh, the Bane of Cato. Oh! Oh, to be fair, like being completely honest, that doesn't look like baby talk to me. That just literally looks like orc speech. Like Warhammer orcs. Is there anything else I can do to buy some time? Oh! While historical documents shed light on Orina's time as Inquisitor Ameridan's companion, little is known of her early life in Orzammar. The Orzammar Shaperate contains an immeasurable wealth of knowledge pertaining to the Tyke's past. Professor Kenrick has made several requests to study their records, all of which were denied. As an ally of the Inquisition, Orzammar may be more willing to answer a petition from Skyhold.
Let's see what we have.
This seems like a fair trade. And since I need to wait before I start Trespasser for that, I am going to do some exploring, I guess. So those have all the things. Races. Let me go check in Valrior if the shops have any uniqueness. I don't have a lot of money, but you know. Hey dudes, you got busted. Hi Kato, how are you doing? Let me do some organizing first. Oh, and how was work for you? Nothing too tedious, I hope. But yeah, while I'm waiting, because I do want to give Shady a chance to be here for Trespasser, I'm going to use the opportunity to run by a couple stores, see if any of them have anything interesting. Well, no. He's saying no. Now I couldn't even talk. Ooh, or something like that.
Inquisitor.
Also, more Elizabeth grinding today. Guess I'll give that to her. $298, $305. It's technically better. What does Cassandra have? No, I think better X because he already has a stronger weapon. Hopefully have the persona I need. Just gotta test some stuff out to see where two certain skills need to go to what persona. He couldn't understand us. See how it works? I think that's he couldn't understand us. I don't know what Oish is, and then see how that works. I think I'm doing my best to translate here. I'm even surprising I'm getting any of this. But then again, that might just be the hive mind working, so. Let's go to Iron Bowl. 363. No, he already has. Yeah, he already has better. Wait, what? Oh, that's a good one. And then I can pass along to Vivian. There we go. No one can comprehend the insanity that is Teats. Apparently someone can, Teats. That would be me. Also, I got that one fluently. Wait, that's my name? Oish? Ash, I guess? Cool. Okay. So 427. Huckle's Mercy. Huh? What are those? Oh, those are nice blades. And they kind of fit, so... Sarah... Okay, she already has that. They both have a much better shield. Yep. So, equipment... Armor... Nope. And I have the highest armor on. Cassandra... Nope. Sarah... I first want to see... Varric... Nope, he has better. Cole... This is better. And that I can give to Sarah. Okay, let's start by storing everything purple. Which, granted, I know that I technically don't need to do that. But I like collecting rare weapons, so that is just me collecting at least a single one of every purple. I try not to collect doubles. I think I already have this. Yeah, I do have that one. So, inventory. I could look into getting Borean battle armor. I might as well give Vivian better armor. And now I can sell all the rest.
Where's my other hand? Right there.
Okay, let me... Let me go here real quick. They have a lot here. I was curious if they had anything interesting, but maybe not so much. So, let's go check out Valroyo. And that is how his new armor looks. I think it's kind of fitting. Makes him look even broader though. Anyway, time to go shopping. What is... Why is this marked? Is this because of this? No, because I can buy everything infinitely, so... That is a big shield. Except I have better.
Inquisitor, welcome and thank you.
I am humbled, Inquisitor, and remain open because of your efforts.
Excuse me? Excuse me? I'm fairly... I thought it was a man. That looks like a man.
I am humbled, Inquisitor,
I guess
and
not.
remain open because of your efforts.
The Inquisitor triumphant. Spend like a winner.
Okay, that caught me off guard.
A genuine hero. Please know that I would not sully your greatness with something as common as further discounts.
Oh, I could do with finding a better upgrade for Kunari armor, especially a headpiece.
Welcome and thank you, Inquisitor.
Business is picking up now that we're not all going to die.
more merchants over there.
Light entertainment abounds! The wardens in their war.
Cotton, velveteen.
Mock you not. Closure. Hang on.
A full retreat, it sounds like, from a game that you helped build.
I would, if I thought it would penetrate that.
Nope, mine is better. I don't assume there's any more shops on the... No, because I've already bought from there. Unless he has by now something else, which is entirely possible. I have more things to read. Disciples of Andraste. The Disciples of Andraste are unique in all of history. The cult preceded the Chantry and kept itself so hidden and isolated that it actually survived to modern day. The Disciples made their home high in the Frostback Mountains, in a village called Haven, which is now a sanctuary for pilgrims of the Chantry. It is understood that the Disciples were descendants of the first followers of Andraste. I'm not going to get in between that. That is Steed's doing. I'm merely trying to decipher. Then again, where I'm from, there's only one language left, so maybe a little bit of diversity doesn't hurt, even if it's the language of assholes. It is understood that the disciples were descendants of the first followers of Andraste, who brought her ashes to Ferelden and built a temple to house it. Because they had pledged themselves to keeping of the Temple of Sacred Ashes, the disciples of Andraste never left the Frostbacks. For 900 years, they kept strangers away, killing all who came close, and were completely oblivious to the world that had advanced beyond the boundaries of their home. Having developed separately from the traditions of the Andrastian Chantry, the disciples were led by revered fathers. However, little else is known about the original beliefs of the disciples, for they had turned from their noble heritage by the time they were discovered. Almost all scholars believe that the century-long isolation imposed upon the village led to the necessity for inbreeding. This practice likely led to a greater incidence of madness, which may explain why the cult was, at the time of its discovering in 930, worshipping a high dragon. According to the writings discovered in Haven, the disciples of Andraste showed reverence to the dragon, believing it to be the prophet reborn. The egg clutches and dragonlings of the dragon were afforded great honor for being Andraste's offspring and were cared for by the cult. The dragon never attacked the cult, being cunning enough to recognize how this arrangement benefited it. In 930 the disciples were wiped out by the hero of Ferelden, who was on a quest to retrieve the sacred ashes of Andraste. From before Andrastietism, The Forgotten Fates by Sister Rodwin of Tentervale. Song to Falundin. The people swore their lives to Falundin, who mastered the dark that lies, whose shadows hunger, whose faithful sing, whose wings of death surround him thick as night. Let Dana Vir, Master Scryer, be our guide through shapeless world and airless skies. Walking the Fade, a harrowing. I found myself on a plateau of swirling smoke and mist. I could not see my feet, or perhaps I had no feet in that place. Each step was treacherous. I had to believe there was a ground. If I didn't, there wouldn't be, and I would fall into nothingness. I was protected only by my will and magic. The demon they made me face took the shape of a great cat, and we battled. It spoke in my mind. It told me that I would eventually stumble, and then it would pounce. The demon talked to me of the Templars beyond the veil, standing over my paralyzed body, their swords pointed at my heart, waiting for the moment of my failure. All it would take was a splinter of fear, a seed of doubt, and I would be unmade. The demon would devour my mind, and the Templars would destroy what was left of me. This was my harrowing. They force this upon all mages and call it good, but it is neither good nor right. It is evil and unjust. From a partially destroyed journal bearing no name, found in a Kinloch cistern. Andraste, Bride of the Maker. There was once a tiny fishing village in the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium. Well, apparently, Shady, your comment just got pinned by teeth, so well done. There was once a tiny there was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Minrathaus, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captives was the child, Andraste. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped, then made a long and treacherous journey back to her homeland alone. She rose from nothing to be the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them to help her people who remained slaves in Tevinter. The false gods of the mountains and the winds did not answer her, but the true God did. The Maker spoke. He showed her all the works of his hands, the fate, the world, and all the creatures therein. He showed her how men had forgotten him, lavishing devotion upon mute idols and demons, and how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him that he offered her a place at his side, that she might rule all of creation. But Andraste could not forsake her people. She begged the Maker to return, to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium. Reluctantly, the Maker agreed to give man another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Mayferet, and told him all that the Maker had revealed to her. Together they rallied the Alamari and marched forth against the mage lords of the Imperium, and the Maker was with them. The Maker's sword was creation itself, fire and flood, famine and earthquake. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the Maker, and they heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers grew, until they were a vast tide washing over the Imperium. And when Mayferet saw that the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing upon it. At last the armies of Andraste and Mayferet stood before the very gates of Minrathaus. But Andraste was not with them, for Mayferet had schemed in secret to hand Andraste over to the Tevinter. For this, the Archon would give Mayferet all the land to the south of the waking sea. And so, before all the armies of the Alamari and the Tevinter, Andraste was tied to the stake and burned, while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing, for his heart had been devoured. But as he watched the pyre, the Archon softened. He took pity on Andraste and drew his sword, and granted her the mercy of a quick death. The Maker wept for his beloved, cursed Mayferet, cursed mankind for their betrayal, and turned once again from creation, taking only Andraste with him. And Our Lady sits still at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children. From the sermons of Justinia too. Hey! Luna. I brought your pillow here, you know. Her perfumed sanctuary. Divine Rosamond. Now here's an interesting story. Rosamond was the youngest divine ever crowned. She was born to the noble Montbeliard family and groomed for the rank of divine by her predecessor, Divine Hortensia II. Records of Rosamond describe her as a radiant beauty, and she captured the hearts and imaginations of the Elysian public almost immediately. Not long after she was crowned divine, erotic art and literature featuring her began to make an appearance in noble or legion circles. The situation depicted in these works were entirely fictional. Divine Rosamund led a life that was beyond reproach, but it seemed that her purity only served to fan the flames of creativity in her followers. To them, reality was a meddlesome creature to be punted off the nearest cliff, and they showed no restraint in portraying the divine in the midst of activities both forbidden and often physically impossible. Several pages of pamphlets containing a story about Rosamund still exist in the private collection of a certain gentlewoman who will remain unnamed. One page describes in painful detail Rosamund's perfumed sanctuary. The rest are dedicated to portraying the Most Holy at her daily exaltations before she is joined in worship by her devoted Templars. From the Secrets of the Most Holy by Sister Damson. Skyhold Garden. Where wither grows the simple scent of sprigs anew in furrowed soil, for on the vine are yours and mine, a bounty blessed by honest toil. Though brave in war and ways we are, and wander thus in victory, it's on the vine where yours are and mine are graced with health and history. In home and hearth and battlefield our sustenance is common held, if on the vine are yours and mine, and always there we are compelled. For turning home, Luna, I'm kind of busy, girl. If on the vine are yours and mine, and always there we are compelled. For turning home is not retreat, when home is why we fight at all. And on the vine is yours and mine, entreating in our heart to call. So if the boons of you cannot buy, there are but two we're certain of. Not on the vine of yours or mine is first the cost of truest love, and thus deny the purchase price, we turn our gaze to what's in hand. And of the vine are yours and mine, Toma Toto, from our own land. Compendium of the Elysian Theatre. Countess Dion. You mock me. Duke Le Seuil. It's what I do best, I'm told. He cannot be our child. I have asked about the town. He wears my great-grandfather's scabbard, the one that went missing that night. Impossible. Then you have no objections to our visitor? Who else have you informed of this? A woman in black and gold mask, with crow feathers on the side, enters from the servant's door. She bows. The Comtesse pales and puts her face in her hands. But if the man came to visit the castle as our son, as you said, he cannot be, for both our sakes. Rife with betrayal, revenge, and a thundering climax, the Air of Verchiel is performed each year in the city that gave it its name. A lavish production put on for the nobility who visit from nearby Halam Shiral. The first performance of the play featured the noted actor Victor Boyer as the Duke Le Seuil, a city elf from Valrio. Boyer took smaller roles for 5 years before convincing Legrand he was fit for the part. His first performance in the capital was so well received that when the cast came out to thunderous applause, the current emperor rose from his seat when Boyer took the stage. Elves have done well in Norwegian theatre, much to the surprise of those outside of the country. But actresses' lives are hotbeds of scandal and intrigue that would make even the bards blush. It is unusual at first to see elves openly tolerated and sometimes even welcomed into their better circles, but Olaire treats its actors as a breed apart. No traveler to the faith can fail to spot the Black City. It is one of the few constants of the ever-changing place. No matter where one might be, the city is visible. So, fun fact, I have seen that in all 3 Dragon Ages, this compendium, where, not this one specifically, but a compendium where it says, the Black City is visible from everywhere. I have never found that Black City. Maybe I haven't looked well enough for it, but I've never seen it. Always far off, for it seems that the only rule of geography in the Fate is that all points are equidistant from the Black City. The chant teaches that the Black City was once the seat of the Maker, from whence he ruled the Fate, left empty when men turned away from him. Dreamers do not go there, nor do spirits. Even the most powerful demons seem to avoid that place. It was golden and beautiful once, so the story goes, until a group of powerful Magister Lords from the Tevinter Imperium devised a means of breaking in. When they did so, their presence defiled the city, turning it black, which was perhaps the least of their worries. Elven God Andruil. One day Andruil grew tired of hunting mortal men and beasts. She began stalking the Forgotten Ones, wicked things that thrive in the abyss. Yet even a god could not linger there, and each time she entered the void, Andruil suffered longer and longer periods of madness. After returning, Andruil put on armor made of the void, and all forgot her true face. She made weapons of darkness, and plague ate her lands. She howled things meant to be forgotten, and the other gods became fearful. Andruil would hunt them in turn. So Mithal spread rumors of a monstrous creature, and took the form of the great serpent, waiting for Andruil at the base of the mountain. When Andruil came, Mithal sprang on the hunter. They fought for 3 days and nights, Andruil slashing deep gouges in the serpent's hide, but Mithal's magic sapped Andruil's strength and stole her knowledge of how to find the void. After this, the great hunter could never make her way back to the abyss, and peace returned. Each elven god represents an aspect of their ancient civilization, each story a metaphor for this aspect. June is June's least understood. Depictions stretch back to ancient Arletan, but he appears most seldom of all their deities. Dalish legends say June is a god of crafts and building, but the oldest depictions have none of the tools the Dalish associate with him. June's role may have changed over time, or it simply cannot be understood today. As the elves fell, ancient Tevinter spared little thought to preserving any Dalish culture, not convenient or understood. The Keepers of Fear. This was not a place of honor. Here came beasts from the north, carrying a poison called the Blight. They killed many warriors and sickened the land, and even their blood could kill. We feared them, and it was right. We were strong, but still they came to feed upon our screams. These stones hold the screams of the Alamari. Wherever the spawn of darkness have come, these stones were raised, so the beasts might take their bounty of fear and depart. If they do not, every man would put his screams into the stone until none were left inside him. Then he would light a fire to burn the screams away, and take up sword and shield to fight until death came. When all the men were dead, the women did the same, whether it was the tradition of the tribe or not. Then the children, even if all they held were fire pit sticks. Remember our warning, give the stone your screams, burn them so they cannot master you, and fight. Letters from the Terranfall. A drop of blood stains the corner of this letter. Night vigilant Trentwatch. It is good to hear you escaped the conclave alive. Come to Terranfall. Read out. Send a bird when you're half a day away. Night Captain Denham will meet you. Come at night, ensure no one sees you. I will meet you in the Denham's office. Things are happening in the Order. We must discuss them privately before you return your duties. Lord Seeker Lucius Corina scrawled notes. Whatever comes, follow the instructions in the shipment to the letter. The officers know what they've signed on for, but don't start all the nights on Red Larium at once. Use the amounts we've parceled out. Give them medicine for the pain. They need to be ready to fight again soon enough. These are your people now, Lord Seeker. Be a better master to them than the Chantry. If I hear differently, you'll answer to the one we both serve. S. This note is creased several times as if it were folded and jammed into a pocket. Be wary. Every Templar will be on the watch for what you are. Lord Seeker is never seen without ceremonial armor. I had a replica made. It should serve your purpose in Terranfall. Remember, Seekers have no place in the new world our master is building. The life of Lucius Corrin ends with you. Official looking letter. Official looking letter. To all captains of Red Templars, we are not stopping to deal with these elven fanatics. Press forward, post more guards, and handle the ambushes as they come. Finding the Temple of Mithral is our first and only task. Once I become the vessel, our master can finally claim the power waiting for him. No elves, no city, no nation will be a match for a living god. This is the day we've bled for. The Inquisition and our legions are snapping at our heels, and you've sacrificed more than anyone should ask. But if we fall here, the deaths of your brothers and sisters meant nothing. I won't let that happen. I know none of you will either. For the glory of the Elder One, General Samson. To be corrupted. The corruption is taking hold now. What doesn't hurt is numb. Head's all foggy, but the scientist in me can't help but describe what this feels like. My body is breaking down. The fingernails were the first to go. I started to itch all over, and when I scratched, they peeled back. Clumps of hair fell away, then clumps of flesh. I hear a song in my head. It's deafening. The most beautiful thing I've ever heard, but I don't hear it with my ears. It's in my brain. A blissful sound. This must be the call for which the Darkspawn yearn. What causes them to dig so feverishly? I'd still rather die. Suppose that is something. The rebel god. The Dalish use Haralan to mean traitor to one's kin, but the word does not appear in any elven text before the Tower's age. The ancient root word is related to Harlan, or opposition, and Halatan, or noble struggle. The Dalish call Fenharel a god of deception, but I posit a far more accurate translation would be the god of rebellion. What he rebelled against is a story lost to time. In Dalish legends, Fenharel seals away the other deities out of love of trickery. If we understood more ancient elves, we might find earlier versions of the Dreadful story give him a more nuanced motivation beyond spite. A knotty affair. Several months after Clemens II died, rumors that she had been a man in disguise began circulating in Val Rio. The gossip was eventually traced back to one sister Constance, who was present when the divine's body was cleansed and dressed for her funeral. Constance had a weakness for barley wine and spoke of Clemens II's sensitive matter to local tavern keep after having imbibed large quantities of the beverage. Reverend Mother Estelle put the rumors to rest by declaring that she had also aided the sisters in dressing the late divine's body for her cremation and knew for a fact that Clemens II was a woman. She went on to say that Sister Constance was mistaken. What she saw was in actuality a squirrel that had clambered in through an open window and came to rest between the divine's legs. Okay. Oh god, I still have a lot to read. I'll read it in a moment. Let me first go to Skyhold. Let me check the mission that I sent Liliana on. Lilian is someone else. I keep mixing up names. Anyway. Then I'm gonna finish reading.
Inquisitor?
In between a short break. I'm not gonna be taking a big break today, because I am streaming less already. So, while the ads are playing, I will be taking a short break. After that, I'm going to start Trespasser, but Jesus, I need to catch up on a lot of reading. I missed a lot of journals. Anyway. King Balin has graciously agreed to grant Professor Kenrick access to the Ozma Shaper Raid, once Kenrick has completed his work in the Frostback Basin, of course. In the meantime, copied records in Orina have been sent ahead as a sign of this agreement. King Balin hopes our alliance will continue to benefit all involved. Josephine. A note from Kenrick follows. The first paragraph consists of a crossed-out series of thank yous, each more effusive than the last. I cannot express how thrilled I am to visit the Shaper Raid. The documents they sent are incredible. It seems Orina was born to a warrior caste family. The theory that she was a runaway noble was romantic. I rather fancied the notion myself. But knowing the truth makes her seem more a person than a legend, much preferable in my opinion. Orina met Emeriden while fighting demons in the Deep Roads. As history states, since dwarves do not possess magic, Emeriden had come to learn ways in which non-mages could fight demons more effectively. Orina was gifted in the field and had developed several unique methods. Apparently, Orina did not get along with Emeriden's friend Haron at the time. It was quite a shock when she announced her departure from the Tide, especially since it put a dampen on betrothal talks between Orina's family and another well-to-do house. The document also includes some depictions of Orina's combat methods that may interest your commander. I will see that these remain in Skyhold's possession. Professor Bram Kenrick, University of Orlais. Okay. Now, let me first and foremost finish up reading a little. The Circle of Magi. The Circle of Magi was established centuries ago to protect us and to protect those without magic from the things we might do. No man in his right mind would disagree that these are noble goals. I refuse to believe that the Chantry intended the injustice and oppression we suffered in the intervening years. Segregation of mages from non-mages within Templar guarded compounds was the best, possibly the only option available. We have recently had to face the stark reality that the system failed us. The Circle of Magi in Ferelden's Kinloch Hold was one of the most liberally run, and even there we saw sedition and dissent, resulting in a failed revolt that nearly destroyed the entire tower. Perhaps stringency could work where leniency failed? I would present Kirkwall's gallows as evidence against such thinking. Knight Commander Meredith's vice grip on the Circle in her care backfired, leaving us where we are now. If the circles, no matter how they are managed, do not, perhaps cannot function as intended, what is next? There are no easy answers. The events of recent years have forced me to re-examine my views on freedom. As equitarians, we have always advocated self-control and cooperation with the Chantry, but this approach may no longer serve. I must consider that our libertarian brothers and sisters had the right of it all along. Look at the strife and chaos that now consumes our world. Fighting for independence, for a better system may not improve our situation, but it cannot make it any worse. Champions of the Just. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights of the shadow. In their blood the Maker's will is written. Canticle of Benediction 4:10-11. When Andraste preached these verses, she offered her followers a path of virtue. In their blood the Maker's will is written is usually interpreted to mean sacrifice one's life for a righteous cause. But like most of the chant, deeper meaning hides beneath the surface. In their blood can be understood as a reference to continuity, an unbroken line of humble behavior required to please the Maker. Rather than a physical fight against the demon or apostate, Andraste means this verse as a warning that her faithful should judge their heart's intentions, questioning those who would lead them astray. Champions of the just are those who, with the courage to admit their wrongdoings, while letting none continue in their sight. Unsurprisingly, the fourth stanza is popular among militant branches of the Chantry, such as the Knight Enchanter and the Templar Order. Old Elven writing. This Elven writing found in the Arbor Wilds is so old as to be incomprehensible. Okay, so apparently the ads are about to start, so we will be back after a short break. Have a moment to get a drink, get something to eat. We will be back after the ads. Hello. How's everyone doing? While we are waiting for the last half minute for the ads, how is everyone's day? Don't forget to take a moment in your day and enjoy the little things. Life isn't always easy. Taking a moment to appreciate the little things you have in life and appreciating the people around you can enrich your life and make the journey worthwhile. Never forget to treasure the people around you. They are the ones who provide you happiness and comfort. And with that, we shall continue doing a lot of reading. The Tranquil. Although apprentices do not know the nature of the harrowing, all of them understand its consequences. They either pass and become full mages, or they are never seen again. Those who fear to undertake this rite of passage, or those who are deemed too weak or unstable, are given the rite of tranquility instead. The actual procedure, like the harrowing, is secret, but the results are just as well known. The rite severs the connection to the fate. The tranquil therefore do not dream. This removes the greatest danger that threatens a weak or unprepared mage, the potential to attract the demons across the veil. But this is the least of the tranquility's effects, for the absence of dreams brings with it the end of all magical abilities, as well as all emotions. The tranquil ironically resemble sleepwalkers, never entirely awake nor asleep. They are still part of our circle, however, and some might say they are the most crucial part. They have an incredible power of concentration, for it is simply impossible to distract a tranquil mage, and this makes them capable of becoming craftsmen of such skill that they rival even the adeptness of dwarfs. The Formari, the branch of the circle devoted to item enchantment, is made up exclusively of tranquil, and is the source of all the wealth that sustains our towers. Terranfall Redu. I have heard the complaints. Some of you do not understand why we train in a castle in the wilderness. When you're to seek out corruption among the masses, you question the seeker's foresight. Doubt assails you. Why have you come to Terranfall? What can you learn here? You could not on your own. Patience is what you will learn. With no city to distract or tempt you, you will practice, you will fail, you will suffer, and when we are done, you will be a rock upon which demons break. Now let us begin. This transcription of a speech by Lord Seeker Alderai to a batch of students beginning advanced lessons is dated 770 Storm. The Seekers used Terranfall Redu as the training ground until around 899 Blessed, when their finances were insufficient to keep the fortress in desirable condition. Majestic bastards. I remember the second last one. I wouldn't get closer than 60 feet, double the wingspan, that left you time to move. The beast was too weak to do much. Still, seemed respectful to keep the distance and leave its end to animal and trainer. She starved out, not the way they should go, and not the way I was used to seeing them. Oh, they were majestic bastards, and they knew it. Ask any warden dumped arse over ears for not picking nits. See, trainer and beast had kinship, and both knew what they wanted. The griffin, that bond meant grooming. Couldn't fault them, they needed what they needed. I mean, what's fair trade for saddling a warden commander full plate, lightning storm, sheer divine straight through an archdemon's wing? Legendary, you can't argue, but back on the ground they knew they were owed, and you couldn't shortcut and douse them. They had all the majesty of a paddling rat if you waterlogged the feathers. No, it was a grueling task of preening 30 bloody feet of wing, and you'd better remember, or maybe the thing got pissy next flight and cut an oak too close. Give you a love tap so hard your next helm dented. Still, everything in balance, every talent tipped, there was nothing that compared. You could reach down from the sky and cradle Thetis in your hand. Anyway, yes, I remember the second last one. After she dropped, the ropes took some crosscuts because they do things like that, and then we burned it. And then I got drunk. I do not remember the very last. You can't make me. Comments of an unnamed warden, excerpted from Weishaupt records on the extinction of the treasured species, liberated for public consideration by Philam, a bard. Okay, we've gotten through all of that. Now the question is Shady here? Is the Shady home and ready?
Well met.
And onto the maiden.
People don't seem to be able to hold a conversation now.
Still here. You need me
stone mat, Inquisitor.
Do you have any insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what, you finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Another time.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
I doubt it, but let's see if there's any new clothing. And I'm going to assume by the lack of answer that we have not yet had the pleasure of receiving the most shady one. Not entirely sure why this section's here, but okay. Anyway, let me quickly go back to Orlais. Val Royaux. That's not what I said. Might as well travel there first. I'm just gonna go alone, it's the city anyway. No, I doubt the other one still has anything, but I'll try and check it out.
And what would you do if Templars did attack me?
Applaud. It's the least you deserve for abandoning your fellow mages.
I should join the rebellion even if I don't agree with it. I did the smart thing and got myself a wealthy patron.
You did the cowardly thing. You hide under our patron's skirts while your brethren die.
Purchased? What becomes of Darabon?
You have, of course, notified the stakeholders.
They are expecting your tariffs, though I cannot say they will.
Oh, ish. Half a point.
What is?
Oh, not sure there's anything left here. Gonna check out a few places, just killing some more time.
Nothing to report, sir.
Oh, great. Nope. I can't find any decent helmet for him. Is that better? No, it isn't. Excuse me, I seem to be dealing with a migraine out of nowhere. There's 3 shops around here that I can check out. So let's see what's there for sale. I just got my hands on something interesting. Wait, what is that? I haven't noticed this building before.
You're the Inquisitor. I hear your people already sing songs of you.
How are you so well informed?
Oh, Hellstim soaks up gossip when he goes trading. He just returned from the lowlands. I'm Fulna Hethstotter, keeper of histories, and Skull to the hold.
Is a skull like a bath?
I've never met a skald. Is that anything like a bard?
I suppose. Every hold has someone who sings its songs. Doesn't yours?
Fair enough.
We keep the old songs and histories, the oaths and the legend marks.
What's a legend mark?
I understood all of that except legend mark.
The skull before me was born Gulda Elsdotter. She crafted a great new tale for the hold. It pleased the spirits. After that, we called her Gulda Gildan's Song.
So they're titles, honorifics.
Not all carry glory. My father was Heth Mule's head. He'd never let go of a quarrel.
Can you choose your own?
Can you choose a legend mark for yourself?
Only if I wanted to be scorned as a child. I've only been a skald a few years. I've not made any great feats, good or ill. Yet.
Okay.
Farewell.
Good journeys.
Yay, more reading. Oh, I gotta pass the time somehow, so might as well. Where is it? Two marked in battle. In a hold past our own, there were two men. One was born Ivad Jofson, the other Rekkes Hildsen. When word came Lowlanders march on Ivad's hold, he searched for them. He found the Lowlanders in a valley, and his heart was grieved, for they wore mail and spoke eagerly of battling Avar, and came in great numbers. But clever Ivad studied a rock above the Lowlanders. When they camped for the night, he climbed up the tallest peak and rolled a great boulder to the edge, aiming for the light of their fires. The boulder slid with other rocks into a mighty wave of dirt and stone. More than half their numbers were crushed, and the others fled in terror back to the lowlands. Ivad's hold held great feasts to celebrate, and said the songs would now call him Ivad Stone Thunder. Rekkes Hildsen grew jealous. Did he not shoot better than Ivad? Did he not run faster than Ivad? A great monster lived at the top of the mountain by the hold. It had feathers of gold and taloned claws, and stole their game from the valley. Rekkes swore he would kill the beast to make his own legend mark, and went hunting in the mountains. The first night, Rekkes found and killed a ram. The second night, Rekkes found and killed a hart. The third night, Rekkes found the nest of the feathered monster, and it was empty. The hunter laid the hart and the ram on the nest, then climbed above it. When dawn broke, the monster returned. It greedily tore open the meat. While it was distracted, Rekkes leapt down and plunged his sword into its back. The monster screamed, but its hide was thick, and the sword stuck. The beast took off into the sky, with the terrified Rekkes still on its back. The monster twisted and looped to shake him off, and the sword dropped into the deep valley. Desperate, Rekkes held on to the feathers of the monster's neck. He saw the beast would soon fly over his home, where all his friends and kin were gathered in astonishment at the sight above them. Rekkes threw his weight, trying to force the monster closer to the ground. It worked, and when the beast soared over the hold, Rekkes twisted and threw himself off. The gods were kind, and as the beast flew off, Rekkes landed on a midden heap, torn feathers floating about him. Rekkes was humbled the rest of the day, never again letting jealousy take his head. The hunter knew, in the end, his legend mark could have been far worse than Rekkes' Featherfall. let me go quickly check out the other shops.
Working to restore him, true.
Why is everyone calling you first, though? Did something happen?
Farewell.
Another time. Hakon hasn't left.
I figure. But I've got something interesting that I can work on until Shady is back, hopefully. I just remember just to give me a chance for what I need. Just wanted to grab that, give me a better chance to get masterwork.
We're marching soon. That's the world.
Flower motif, I think.
Let's have a look. Didn't I? Oh, there's barely any difference. It's going to get the same armor rating, it's just... Yeah, I see. Never mind. For that small difference, I'm not gonna work on it.
Nice, simple blade. Can't go wrong.
Are there other places? I'm not entirely sure. Doesn't seem to be a store here. Got that one. That's the requisition officer. That's It's also the requisition officer, so there's 2 stores here. Let's first check out the one in Crestwood. I doubt any of them have what I need, but I might as well check it out, you know. Having a hard time to focus today. Might be more exhausted than I thought.
That dragon would have turned its eyes on us if you hadn't stopped it. Thank you.
Nope. Let's go here. I already forgot how to navigate this place. Nope, not that way. Okay, so here's the shop.
Another time.
So nope, nothing. So there's 2 places I can shop here. Hey, look, dudes, we're going back to the hinterlands.
It's good.
Oh, welcome to the Wastelands. Annie Ralph 17. Mind if I say Eddie? Good luck surviving, Wastelander.
Good day.
Supplies, your work?
Now, do they have anything interesting? Doesn't... Yes, that is interesting. Just not interesting enough. Nope. Nope. Nothing I want.
Good day.
So I've had those three. There should be one more shop I want to check out.
Greetings, traveler.
Also shady. Oh, hi Shady. I wasn't sure if you were around or not, so I was just going around stores and buying time until you were here to start up Trespasser.
Good day.
Well, I figure you're probably busy, but I wanted to make sure you were... No, don't worry, don't worry. You don't need to apologize. You have other responsibilities that are more important, like little Edie. Hi, Edie. But, no, you have other things that are more important. I just wanted to make sure you wouldn't miss the beginning of Trespassers. Because this is the only part of the game you haven't seen, right?
Your worship.
It's so good to see you.
Warning. Beginning, the Exalted Council will lock off all other areas and plots and jump to 944 Dragon, 2 years after the death of Corypheus. There is no going back from this point. Well, I've done everything that I can do. This is going to be the end of the game. So I hope we're all ready. This is the end to Dark's current story until Dreadwolf. With Corypheus' death and the threat of the Fate Rift and demons reigning, both Orlais and Ferelden have begun to raise questions about the future of the Inquisition. Divine Victoria has promised to shield the Inquisition from political matters for as long as possible. Eventually, she plans to call the Exalted Council, a chance to determine the role and possibly the fate of the Inquisition. Divine Victoria will not call the Exalted Council until you are ready, Inquisitor. I hope all of you are ready, because we're about to begin the end. The Exalted Council will be held at the Winter Palace outside Haram Shiral, thanks to Divine Victoria's negotiations with the ambassadors. We are ready to depart at your convenience. So this takes place 2 years after the fight with Corypheus. Interesting.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Let's see how bad this is going to get.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise du Lion, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Thanks to you.
Corypheus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, Your Worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
You mean Liliana?
You can probably just call her Liliana in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinian. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
How has she done?
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria has proven adept at winning allies with both her intelligence and her faith. It is a blessing in these trying times. We are lucky to have her.
I'll find her.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, your worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Olay. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
The Tevinter ambassador?
The Imperium sent an ambassador?
Yes, your worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. He took a great risk coming to help us, and deserved better treatment.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, your worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apologies somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
So, which old friends?
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras, for one. I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier. Enjoy time with them while you can, your worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Olay sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
We are not going anywhere.
The Inquisition still has work to do. We can't let someone's fear push us into disbanding.
Then I wish you luck in the negotiations to come. Maker watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
So Blackwall is here. Dorian is here. Let's go say hi to Varric.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you.
What did you do now?
Are you in some kind of trouble? What's happened this time?
So suspicious. I'll have you know I've never been convicted of anything. Officially. This is Bran Caven. Until recently he was the Viscount...
Provisional Viscount.
Of Kirkwall.
And he's delivering your mail?
So why is he here with messages from the Merchants Guild?
I have resumed my post as seneschal now that Master Tethrus has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now?
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns out you fund enough reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
You'll be a great Viscount.
That's fantastic. You'll make an excellent Viscount.
I think the nobility figured, after Dumar and Perrin, what's the worst that could happen if we put the dwarf in charge? They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a compt now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. Also, your mercenary company, the Valokas. They work for Kirkwall now. I just know my guard captain will love the Shokrakar.
Guard Captain Aveline has been to my office 11 times in the last week to complain.
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
I don't know what to say.
This is possibly too much, Varric. I don't know what to say.
That's nothing. Practically nothing. Don't mention it. Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
Thank you, Varric.
Thank you. I'm touched. A little bit horrified by this key now, but still touched.
Please don't give anything else away.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
I love Varric. Colin, Vivienne.
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You found a dog?
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
But he's such a good dog.
Tire of you? With that positive attitude and fetching ability?
He's not supposed to fetch it.
I don't think you understand how this works.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
You're actually enjoying this. You should show him Ferelden.
You could take him to Ferelden sometime. He should know where he came from.
I did promise my sister a visit. She might try to spoil you. Remember who you report to. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Whatever happens, our people, you, Liliana, Josephine, will have my support in whatever form you require.
I'm glad to hear it.
I can't imagine the Inquisition without you.
I am honored, and likewise, Inquisitor. You can help. Dodge this, and I'll find overpriced Orlesian dog treats before we go.
When we first talked to the others before I talked to Vivienne. Half-finished poem, skin like gauze across the sky, I sigh and fall in evening's lake. The pool of which, deep as your eyes, the eyes and eyes of which pierce like wakes, breaks, heartaches, cakes. Later I hope my lady's patient. That was funny. There's a bunch of people here. Oh, hi Cole. Well, it's interesting. I'm just catching up with everyone.
Time for afternoon refreshments.
Did you know that a merchant in the courtyard is selling gemstones the same color as your eyes?
What an odd thing to say. I must see this for myself.
Thank you.
I appreciate the help.
But I really,
elsewhere.
well,
I still don't understand Orlesians and their masks, but it makes him happy.
Give me a moment.
And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs?
Birds like breadcrumbs.
Oh, Cole, good day. I didn't see you there.
But I saw you, as lovely as your songs.
Oh. I'm happy for you.
I'm pleased for both of you.
The world has ample pain, Inquisitor. The kindness found in Cole is rare indeed.
Her songs bring happiness to those who hear, and I can make her happy in return.
Well then, carry on.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. But it's difficult to say what I think of the DLC because it literally just started. But I do want to point out it is so typically political. The Inquisition saved the world, and now they're like, oh, we don't need you anymore. You're too powerful. You need to go. Or you need to belong to us. So it's just like, that's not how this works. Which is one of the good points that I'm playing Dark, because he's a political mastermind, which is going to make this DLC very interesting.
Hello.
Iron Bull, Sarah. The Gilded Horns drink menu. The Golden Nug, with effervescent white Salony wine with a dash of West Hill brandy and a splash of pomegranate juice, muddled with raspberries and a sprig of royal elf fruit. The Hissing Drake, a bold mix of cinnamon infused whiskey, dark Lomarin rum, and Hero's Lava Burst, not for the faint of stomach or heart. The Benediction, Prophet's Laurel Gin served with a wedge of lime and a thimble of gold inside. The Emerald Valley, made with spirits distilled by Chantry Sisters in Light from over 70 herbs and flowers. Topped by egg white foam dusted with nutmeg. A Night of Shame, our sweetest Antivan port with a dash of chocolate bitters and a twist of orange, served in a flute of chilled Syrah glass. The Randy Dowager, rumored to have been concocted by the editor of Orlé's most scandalous periodical herself, a tall glass of abyssal peach liquor and fresh cream, garnished with sugared rose petals and served on a silk handkerchief with a scandalous rhyming couplet inked on it by the bartender. So that's Varric, Skull. Oh, there's Iron. Why is Iron Bull behind the bar? Well, let's go talk with Iron Bull.
Your Worship, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I need you to keep the Chief distracted while we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
This should be good.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
It's for his birthday.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
I haven't seen a rift.
It's good to see that the Veil has largely healed, now that most of the major rifts are closed. You might think otherwise, but the Veil isn't technically a physical barrier. It's more like a magical vibration that repels the Fade. Did you know that Ferelden has its own names for lords? The country is divided into Ternirs, governed by Terns. Inside those are cities and Arlings, ruled by Arls. And then there's the Banorn. It's a large area of countryside ruled by multiple bands.
Good to know.
I'm going to wait a moment. Yes, it is. I'm going to wait a moment because the ads are running, but yeah, what do you think of the DLC so far, Shady? Because technically this is new territory for the both of us, so I do want to hear your thoughts every step of the way. Also, oh wait, he might be listening to ads. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what everyone's been up to. Also, Shady, what do you think about the Nightbot? Is the spam not too frequent? Alright. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah, I figured the two things that I should promote are that they can join the Discord and that I'm keeping archives of my past playthroughs. Anyway, it's about time to resume, so let's see if we can distract Iron Bull.
Most mages hate the thick of battle, but I can't imagine hanging back. It's nice to get your hands dirty.
That's why I like you, boss. You swing a sword. It's a weird sword made out of magic, but still.
Also, the dwarf wasn't even helping. Isn't Orlesian history grand?
It's fascinating to see the remnants of Syrian culture here. Most of it was deliberately erased during Orlesian unification, under the reign of Mafrath's son Izarath.
Uh-huh.
It is boring. The council may affect Lyrium.
Do you think news of the Exalted Council could affect the Lyrium shipments from Orzammar?
Maybe.
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief!
Oh, you guys. You got me.
Well, Iron Bull can probably get it out of there.
Hey, boss.
Sarah's past and now things. Lost another book, stop leaving them places. Below are several entries by Sarah. Also several sketches of Skyhold with impeccable cross-hatching. Moving again. Less stuff, more things, people things. Too many vowel somethings. Name less stupid, Orle. Last Jenny checked in, wasn't worried. A drawing of a gloved fist holding an odd symbol, smashing against the face of a chevalier. The symbol is red and smells of strawberry. Traveling again and again. Been here before. We're everywhere. Back to the Winter Palace? Never good. Pack these. Bet Varric were in trouble. Scratched out. Varric won't take a sucker bet. In for 10 with Cohen. Everyone looks old and tired and fat. Find who shrunk my skyhold clothes. Scratched out. Piss. Don't say the Inquisitor's hand looks bad. It looks very bad. Is Whittle even here? Why do I go where there's no Whittle?
Inquisitor Herald, glad to be back for whatever it is this lot have shoved up their sleeves. Just right up in there.
That's it? It's been some time.
Well, we don't know what's what, so what's there to go on about? It's Inquisition business, innit? That's all we are.
I
Maybe
have
sort
no
out how they
idea.
want to mess with us.
Who is
Then there'll be
Whittle?
something to talk about. Maybe sort out how they want to mess with us. Then there'll be something to talk about.
So, Cole, Iron Bowl, Sarah, Josephine, but I don't think Josephine's here. Oh, okay. I wonder if there's gonna be. Whoa. Oh. Okay. Hey, look. Oh, good shot.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
I would have let you know.
I gave you my word we would talk, and I never break my word.
Easy there. I was just teasing. So tell me everything that happened while I was away.
Yeah,
And after
Harding
the
is
betrayal
smart.
and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
How many punches did you take?
How many people hit you?
I lost count at 12, but I could take a punch. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back, though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
Let me try.
Your aim is atrocious. I'm embarrassed for you.
Think you can do better? Inquisitor.
Anyway. Let's go talk to my favorite person from the Inquisition. Oh. Never mind, because she's elsewhere where I can't reach. Hi. Varric and the last few years. Inquisitor. Greetings and salutations from beautiful Kirkwall. The sun is shining, the seabirds are screeching, and almost nothing in Hightown has fallen into a sinkhole and ended up in the sewers in over a month. The Red Lyrium cleanup in the gallows is going better than expected. Nobody misses having Meredith fused to the flagstones, eerily glaring at everyone. The city guard celebrated finally getting her out of there by holding a completely impromptu parade. Several Lowtown residents composed a song on the spot with lyrics to the effect of "Thank the Maker that crazy cursed Templar is gone." which was remarkably catchy, despite, or maybe because of the fact that it was mostly just swearing in tune. Even with all this style of progress, it looks like I'm stuck here. Channels in the harbor were completely changed by falling debris a few years back, which led to a lot of ships getting wrecked coming and going, which only made things worse. And then we had rifts open, and weird glowing fade rocks appeared out there. Incidentally, thanks for closing the rifts. Now, the only hope for repairing the harbor is to send guys with pickaxes to clear the rocks. Ever tried to hire miners who are also divers, Inquisitor? There aren't many, and even fewer are happy mining glowing shit from the Fade. This is going to take a lot of my coin to fix. Stop by the city sometime. We'll get in with a game of Wicked Grace. Please, this Viscount shit is boring me to death. Varric. Vivian in the last few years. Inquisitor. I fear I shall have no opportunity to meet with you prior to the Exalted Council at Halam Shiral. The colleagues and fraternities of enchanters are holding yet another round of elections in a few months, and I must be present to organize everything, or the Aquitarians and the Lucrosians will inevitably get drawn into the most passive-aggressive argument over the number of ballot boxes and arrangements of voting cards you can possibly imagine. Yeah, I'm actually happy that he's Viscount. On the last two occasions, when I could not be spared from my duties at the Imperial Court, the isolationists sealed themselves inside the debating area with ice walls, in protest over some insult from Libertarian Senior Enchanter from Cumberland. I must, of course, convey the continuing approbation of the Orlesian Court, though I have no doubt dear Duke Cyril has already bored you to death with the Council of Heralds' compliments by now. Cordially, Vivian. Colin in the last few years. Colin. Word has spread from Denerim about the summit the Inquisition will attend. The news is half rumors, but with the representatives they say are going, it's clearly serious, and the details are probably not something you can put down in a letter. I will, however, look forward to more glowing descriptions about how much you love Orlesian parties. Branson's here. His son insists I add "hello" call to this letter. He also insisted be "hello" and not "hello." Your nephew is stubborn. How very familiar. Love, Mia. Cassandra in the last few years. Inquisitor, I am writing to you from the Hunter's Horn Mountains, where I was successful in tracking down Seeker Emery. She was more shocked than most to hear of Lord Seeker Lucius' betrayals, as he was her mentor when she was just an initiate. But she is eager to help rebuild, and she has heard of a few other Seekers who might have been sent to Ravane. I still do not know how many of us yet remain, how many Lucius killed, but I know that we are recovering, and I know that we will be better this time. I confess I look forward to returning to Orlais next month. Once I would have thought that impossible. Orlais was little more than the land of frustration, politics, excessive ornamentations, and responsibilities I do not want. But now that friends wait for me there, it is almost home. Cassandra. Cassandra changed a lot during this journey. Probably not as much as Colin in the long run, but a lot. Notes on Palace Quests. A collection of servants' notes to the guests attending the Winter Palace. Countess Davory wants a stateroom set aside from 3 to 5 in the afternoon for her daughter's harp practice. Must have windows on one side and a balcony. If she proposes a recital, refer her to the Seneschal. Duke Pierre Pone wants to entertain Ferelden relatives. A barrel of whiskey and 3 wheels of cheese to be delivered to his quarters this evening. Bon Wharton, his bed should be made up with linens, not silks. Sir Lidstone complains an old wound in her left leg is making itself felt. Move her to the ground floor. Lady Galatea, a duelist, has required a sparring partner in a suitable practice ground. Lord Gilderay, to be woken at 8 by a maid on even days. A page boy on odd days, don't ask, with a fresh pitcher of water and 12 sprigs of lavender on a peach-colored towel, don't ask. Carrying these items in silently without making eye contact with his lordship. Placing them on the divan, clapping twice, then leaving without a word. Do not ask. Hard in Hightown, Chapter 17. by Varric Tetris. Donnan left his captain and dozens of Kirklow's finest to drag Wagner and his thugs to the stocks. The heavy air gave up and turned into sheets of rain. The ancient grey stone stairs leading up to Lowtown turned into a waterfall. Donnan slugged up the narrow passage, boots squelching with every step. He almost didn't hear the ambush coming. As he reached the top of the stairs, a faint rasp of steel made him throw himself aside into a vegetable salad stable. His sword swung through the air where he'd been and chimed against a rock wall. Donnan fumbled at his scabbard and just managed to catch the second blow with his sword. He had one moment as they locked blades to recognize his attacker. The younger man had shed his guard uniform for dark leathers, and his left arm now ended in a bandaged stump, but there was no mistaking him. Jevlon? Where is the blade of Hessarian? Jevlin recovered from the parried blow to slash at Donnan's leg. He dodged back, slipping and nearly stumbling ass first down the stairs. It was you, the inside man. You're the one who killed the father, Donnan launched at the recruit. Jevlin quickly moved to block, but Donnan's blade sliced his arm, drawing blood. Give me the sword. I know that pirate hag gave it to you. Jevlin swung a series of hard slashes, trying to break Donnan's guard or knock him down the stairs. In the darkness and the driving rain, the guardsman struggled to see his attacker. Still, Donnan grinned. You left it at the quay. I guess you ran off without it when the lady took your hand off. Not my fault you picked a fight you couldn't win. He tried to edge away from the stairs, but the rookie kept him pinned between the vegetable stall and the fall to his death. Jevlin launched, his blade punching through Donnan's armor just below his ribs, but the recruit slipped on the wet stone during his attack and stumbled into his enemy. Donnan shoved him away and over the stairs. His fall ended with a sickening crack of broken bones. Donnan drew a ragged breath and pulled Jevlin's sword from his side, trying not to slip in his own blood. The chantry was a long way off. I feel like I missed some of that story.
Oh.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Well, I wanted to speak with you, and now you're here.
You seem distraught.
This seems serious.
It's not about me. It's about you. Maybe you should sit.
I can stand.
Maybe I should sit.
What is she doing?
Inquisitor, I want you to know that I am your friend. I will always be your friend.
Oh, well, that's...
So I hope to give you sound advice on this momentous day. Do what is in your heart, my friend, no matter what anyone might tell you.
We should start over.
Maybe I should leave and come back. I think I missed the beginning.
I'm talking about marriage.
Marriage?
Josephine is a wonderful woman. If you're clear on your path you're not proposing to anyone. I am going to kill Varric. Why do I believe everything he says? Why?
Oh my god, apparently Varric made Cassandra believe that Doc was going to propose to Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Varric told you that?
He said I was going to propose?
He mentioned a proposal. I suppose I filled in the blanks. Or he did this on purpose.
No, it isn't.
That dwarf gets entirely too much joy from my discomfort.
Maybe I will get married.
I might get married. I've thought about it.
I suspected as much. Being Inquisitor has brought you good things. Many good things. But only a few have been by your choice. Take what happiness you can from those and do not let them go. That is all I meant to say. Advice from a friend for the days to come.
You know, I became a better friend with Cassandra than I thought I would. Cassandra's alright.
How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages.
Storms of Temptations. The standard novel bills itself as a sweeping romance on the eight seas by Danelle Mitril. The cover shows a dark-skinned elf with long platinum hair hanging by one hand from the mast of the ship, a dagger in his teeth. A woman in an elaborate mask, low-cut dress, and almost as much hair as the elf gasps up from the base of the mast. The elf is glaring at a tanned and chiseled human pirate, grinning as his vessel pulls alongside the elf's ship. For the first Elven captain in Antivan Navy, Keel Zebulon's inaugural assignment was a routine trading mission down to Wycombe. Little did he know that the fiery Amethyst Couron, a passenger he picked up in the free marches, was heir to an enormous fortune, a fortune Ravani pirate prince Elrado Hurakan would do anything to get his hands on. Unable to resist Amethyst's pleas for help, Kiel found himself racing to get her back to Val Royeaux, even as the ferocious Hurakan pursued them. And their passion ensured the eight seas would never be the same. There is a note scribbled inside the cover in dainty handwriting. If found, please return to Lady Yvette Montpellier. Hard in Hightown by Varric Tetris. In the Lowtown Bazaar, Donan paused to pay a little elven girl to play courier for him before making the long climb back uphill to Hightown. A careful glance told him the scar-faced Ander and the tattooed Chasen were still tailing him. Donan was certain they'd love the Viscount's keep. He passed beneath the stone gaze of the Cormorant statue flanking the gates and nodded to the guards on his way to the barracks. No one noticed his ragged, bloody clothing, which disappointed him as much as he benefited from it. Recruits these days, always slacking off. Donan bypassed the captain's office and went looking for Javelin. By now the kid ought to be rested up, and Donan suspected he would need backup if his large, suspicious shadow decided to pick a fight. But Javelin's bunk was empty. Donan noted blood splatter on the bedding and a scent like lilacs. All of his gear was missing, and the center of the bunk was a note. Bring the blade to the case tonight at midnight, or the boy dies. It was signed with wax seal, 6 crossed swords. Now I need to find and talk to Josephine. Maybe I can ask her to marry.
At once.
Nope, she's all the way up.
You have it. Of course. It's so good to see you, darling. I've been fielding Orlesian diplomats all afternoon.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence, but the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
You scheduled a friendly chat?
Is this in your daily notes? 3 to 4 o'clock. Idle chat with the Inquisitor.
Of course not. Not precisely. The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you've worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
That's a good point.
Perhaps you're right. These meetings and talks don't allow for much leisure time.
And then back to Skyhold without a moment's pause to take in where we are. Sometimes, I'm afraid I do not make enough time for you, my love. Please, come with me tonight.
Doing what, exactly?
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
Anything to see you smile.
If it makes you happy, how can I refuse?
Oh, wonderful. I was worried we wouldn't find the time. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
What just happened?
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
I enjoyed your company more.
The performance pales in comparison to the lovely lady I saw it with.
You are sidestepping the question.
Love leaves my tongue tied.
Well, in that case, I suppose allowances can be made.
You know, this is actually such a healthy relationship.
I do hope you recovered from your night at the opera. Any earringing should go away in a day or two.
Oh, wait, nope, it's there. Oh, so much reading to do. Liliana in the last few years, Inquisitor, thank you so much for your kind inquiries. I am doing very well, although I have been quite busy. Selecting new staff for my apartments at the Grand Cathedral has taken me so much longer than expected. And if you wouldn't mind, I would like to borrow Scarlet Harding for a few weeks to help me find more nugs. I cannot possibly hire anyone to a permanent position without first observing them in a room full of baby nugs. And all the litters I have on hand are nearly full grown. In any case, I will see you soon at Halam Shiral. Until then, I haven't seen Liliana yet. Josephine, in the last few years. My dear Darkonomeus, Commander Cullen has reviewed the soldiers. I have written and received so many letters from the Elysian Court, our birds practically blot out the sun. We are as prepared for this exalted council as we will ever be. I know this past year has been full of formal meetings. Goodness knows I have attended many myself. But this one will truly test the alliance and friendships we have worked so hard to build. Take courage, darling, and please visit me before we begin the exalted council. It would make me so happy to see you. Love, Josephine. Cole in the last few years. Inquisitor, your suggestion regarding the young man Cole was excellent. He displays an uncanny ability to locate missing people. When hostile forces held our agents and we feared they would be killed if we approached, Cole was able to reach them without being detected. While he has been less useful overall at extracting intelligence, I have learned to trust his instincts about whether a target is trustworthy or malicious. Per your request, I have limited his assistance to rescue operations or attacks on clearly hostile forces. Whatever magic lives in the young man's mind, it would be poorly served by the less pleasant necessities of our work. His remarks about my family, while not germane to the mission at hand, were also greatly appreciated. Yours, Charter. Well, Gol is making a name for himself. I think I made the right choice with the boy. Anyway. Cassandra, Blackball, Cole, Iron Bow, Sarah, Josephine, Vivian, Colin. So there's no Lillian? Liliana, not Lillian. I keep mixing up names. I am sorry.
Be careful, Inquisitor. We have a ways to go yet.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Oh, Shady. In case you haven't seen it yet. Dark's fully upgraded armor. I added some shouldering and better gloves fitting for how he is.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
A Kunari in a spa.
I feel like I'm going to break something in here. Or someone.
You'll present the staff with a special challenge, darling. The experience will be good for them.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. I hope all is well with you and Ambassador Montillier.
Things are good.
Things are excellent. Thank you for asking.
It's such a comfort to hear that at least one facet of your life hasn't fallen apart due to incompetence.
Ah, yes. I have a tier 4. Well, I have made that sword with exclusively tier 4 materials. So now I have, and it is masterwork. So it's the strongest I can make it right now with a ice and lightning element. Also, I fucking hate Vivian. One facet of your life hasn't fallen apart due to incompetence. Are you implying something? What have you been up to?
You must be keeping very busy.
Someone has to keep the mess that's been made of Thaddeus's institutions of magic from flying apart. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
Jesus, Shady. I've never seen you like this. Are you okay? Are you alright? Do you need a moment? I have never seen you typing like that in chat. Oh, I can imagine. And if it's any consolation, Shady, I am right there with you. I cannot stand her. Heart and High Time, Chapter 15, by Varric Tetris. Also, I'll be down to listen to it after stream. The nobles of Hightown like to imagine that petty crime can only happen in the dank shadows of Darktown, or maybe the crooked alleyways of Lowtown between the alien edge and the poorest neighborhoods. Their lofty ivy-walled avenues could never be the site of something as crude as a mugging or a simple assault. Oh! Then I might have misunderstood what I was saying. No, I know you're agreeing with me. It's just, I don't often hear you use the explicit effing hate Vivian. Also, oh, okay, sorry, I misunderstood. Also, I wasn't angry or anything, I was just impressed. Yeah, I'm glad you do because she's annoying. Heart in Hightown by Varric. The nobles of Hightown like to imagine that petty crime can only happen in the dank shadows of Darktown, and even the crooked alleyways of Lowtown between the alienage and the poorest neighborhoods. Their lofty ivy-walled avenues could never be the site of something as crude as a mugging or a simple assault. Donnan didn't have much trouble finding an out-of-the-way alcove near the chantry to wait for the scarred Ander and the tattooed Jason to catch up with him. The Ander came at him first, dropping down from the balcony above his head, while Donnan tried to back out of his reach. The Jason loomed behind him, clamping an enormous vice-like hand on his shoulder. The Ander's followed-up punch just below his ribs, knocking the air from his lungs. As the Jason lifted him up by the coat, Donnan got back enough of his breath to say, "We have worked for Wagner, I need to give him a message." This earned him a skeptical look from the Ander, but the Jason set his feet back on the ground. "Tell him I have his sword. He can meet me in the quays at midnight to settle on the price." For a long, nervous moment, Donnan watched a variety of expressions pass over the Ander's scarf, Ray's face before the man nodded. Not a long moment, and both Ander and Jason walked away, leaving him alone in the alcove. With the sun just setting, there was only one place left that Donnan needed to go. The tavern in the center of Lowtown sat on its own tiny moat of spilled ale, vomit, and seawater the owner flung at the walls in a half-hearted attempt to scour the seagull crap from the building. Donnan, like nearly every guardsman who drank at the hangman, walked through the door to a frantic chorus of "Put it away! Hurry!" He tried not to smile and completely succeeded when the brooding, white-haired Ivan bartender greeted him with a murderous glower. "Guardsman?" Donnan placed a handful of copper coins on the bar. "Keep the ale coming, fellas. I've got some time to kill." Oh, I wonder if that... Oh wait, no, that's Fenris. Didn't I talk with everyone? I'm missing Liliana.
Where is that servant?
A reminder, while the gazebo is available for festive occasions, deposits are non-refundable in cases of flood, fire, or imperial wind. Book accordingly. Also, I love how Vivian was the entire time like, relax, it's a Sparta, you need to relax. While constantly being like, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. If you re-establish a broken system, it's just going to break again. Ah, there we go.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Of course not, Inquisitor. I was catching up with Redcliffe's Arl. He's here to represent Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How is Redcliffe?
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I won't take much time.
I'll try not to keep you from more important matters.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
Many are frightened of the Inquisition's power, but I will do all I can to allay their fears.
How can I help? He did look really grumpy. Then again, it's been a horrible year for Theta. Well, it has been a horrible... Like, what has it been? 10 years in total for everything? 20 years? It's been a horrible century for Thetis. How can I help?
Is there anything I can do to make your job easier?
Explore the grounds. Let yourself be seen. The delegates need to put a face to the legends. I have much to do, but let me say this. I may no longer be your spy master, but I am always here if you require.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
I understand the fear.
The Inquisition has grown. I can see how its presence might cause concern.
Then you understand why we must demand a reduction of your military forces. A power without allegiance to either Ferelden or Orlais. Even I see neither of our countries can let it rest. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
I also love how this guy is like, oh yeah, we remember our savior, but we also want you gone. A dispatch from the Crown of Ferelden. Uncle Tegan, I read your first letter. Trust Orlais to put up a fight about this now. You've been there before, so I'm not telling you anything new. Send a messenger if you need anything. I'll send someone straight away. Regards, King Alistair of Ferelden. Someone, presumably His Majesty, has drawn a stick figure weighted down by an oversized crown at the bottom of the page. That does sound like Alistair. Anakerj Halfer. No clue what that is. And Dorian.
Orlais is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Inquisitor, how long has it been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
You're bored, aren't you?
Thrilled to be at the Exalted Council, Lord Pavis?
Oh, riveted. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavis is a token appointment. call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Ole wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
You disagree with him?
Does your grace feel the Inquisition should continue to rule itself?
I would rather see the Inquisition join us freely than be carved into pieces for the chessboard. I have not forgotten Justinia's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is a good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
Scandalous gossip. This unsigned note is creased, as if it had been secreted away in someone's pocket. There's Jay. I agree it is surprising that the Feraldans come as equals, but the Exalted Council is in the heart of Southern Olay. That cannot be lost on our neighbors. Empress Celine came out for the first ceremonies, then retired into her chambers for the rest of the talks. A day later, Marquise Briella came visiting on important matters of state. Suffice to say, I do not think we will see them at the council. Celine and her rabbit divorced like lovers half their age. Of course, the foolish assume our Empress is so distracted that that they might safely overreach themselves, an idea even more disastrous than the new carpeting in the north wing. That shade of lime? Really? Dorian, Liliana. So now I can actually talk with them.
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
You sound sad.
And that makes you sad?
It is easier on the heart to just see gilding. Now all I see are hands rubbed raw to make gold gleam, tears shed in the night over silk embroidery. Others overlook them and forget their pain, but I am divine and I cannot be blind. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
We know too much.
I'd fear anyone with our vault of secrets. Wouldn't you?
It is not our secrets, nor our soldiers. There have always been spy masters and private armies. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. The Inquisition's time is coming to an end.
We're still needed.
The Inquisition still does good work. Thedas will always need us.
We set out to restore peace, and now peace is upon us. You and I have come so far through the darkness together. It is time for us both to live in the light. But whatever you decide, I will be honored to stand beside you.
One moment. And back. Oh, here he is.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you, or want you. It may even kill you, but we'll miss you, if it counts. And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Tama never wanted to leave.
I swear.
So Tama is also in this game.
Leave him.
It's true. When the Exalted Council has ended, I'm going back to Tevinter. For good, this time.
I understand.
Tevinter needs someone like you.
My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
What will you do in Tevinter?
So you'll truly be a Magister.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
I could help you.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, my friend.
Oh,
I won't be
I
entirely
see.
without support. Maevaris has gathered other Magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the Magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
Sorry, that's your father.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
You don't have to do anything.
You don't have to go back, Dorian. You put it behind you. You still could.
Give up a golden opportunity for martyrdom? Perish the thought. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are my dearest friend. Perhaps my only friend. That will never change, no matter where we are. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back.
It is time, Shady. Are you ready?
It's been a while since so many gathered in this place.
Ready to see the rest of this mission on Wednesday. Sorry. I'm a tease. Oh, I'm sorry. I just had a little too much fun doing that. Regretfully, it is time. And I think I know just the person to rate. He's on a very difficult part of his game, so I figured might as well go give him some support, right? Anyway, let me set up the rate. Perfect. Anyway, with that, I wish you all a pleasant evening. Stay safe out there, Wastelanders. It's a dangerous world out there.